This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for another week on Movie Chats. Well, I say another week on Movie Chats. Thank you for joining us for episode 1 of the new Movie Chats podcast. So this will be going over to YouTube, Music and Spotify and stuff like that once we finish this live stream. So please go and check us out over there as well. Little Steve, how are you, sir? How was your week?
Not too bad. I was back in work today, so that was fun. Mm-hmm. But other than that, yeah, it's not been too bad, mate. I've got some good pickups and stuff, so happy with that.
Good stuff. Now we have got a special guest. He is hiding in the wings there. But before we bring him on, here we go.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Dave, for Saturday.
Happy birthday, mate.
It was nice to see on Facebook that you were celebrating your birthday, because it makes me feel young to realise that you're the eldest out of the three of us.
He's had the birthday shave, hasn't he?
He has, that's it.
Yeah. I have, yeah. Am I the oldest of the three of us, am I?
You are, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm actually the youngest.
He likes saying that and all. He'll only ever bring people on that are older than him.
Although it does look like I've had a harder life because I've had to put up with little Steve for the last 2
look a day over 50, my friend.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Cheers. I appreciate it. I felt 50 on Sunday, though. I just can't do it anymore. I'm retiring. My partying lifestyle, my partying ways are gone. Can't do it.
Because when people put on Facebook, like, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, and then literally the weekend after you see it again, and you're like, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much me, mate, to be honest.
I've just recovered from last weekend, and let's go again.
Yeah.
So, Dave, we're starting our podcast, okay? So people can watch us live on YouTube, and then we're going to try and put this out over YouTube Music and Spotify. Would you like to tell people where they can find you and what you do for those that are going to be picking up the podcast for the first time?
Yeah, if you just head on over to YouTube, type in Savage Zombie Reviews, you'll see this ugly mug pop up. And basically, more or less just do like classic horror movie reviews. I'll do like trailer reactions. I will do reviews for new movies as well, but mostly horror in general. And if you type in Savage Zombie, you'll find me on Twitter. You'll find me on Instagram easy enough. I'm easy to find. So yeah, everyone's more than welcome to check out the channel. And if you do enjoy it, please leave me a like and subscribe. And everyone's welcome.
Very nice.
Okay. That's how you do a plug, little Steve.
Oh, well, I'll take note.
Take note. For the next time you on somebody else's channel and you're plugging other people, that's how you do ours.
Fair enough. I don't mind.
So, with a name like Savage Zombie, you're definitely into your horror and stuff like that. Have you watched any good horrors as of late, or any good series? Because there's been a couple that have a couple of clips and stuff like that from the new Alien series that's meant to be coming out soon.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of that yet? Have you seen any of the clips or the photos or anything to do with that?
I have not yet. No. I want to though. I didn't realize there was some like photos floating around or clips and stuff. So I'm highly interested in that. Just for me recently, because I'm going through the Halloween series at the moment. I've literally just been watching that really. Apart from I watched a film called Totally Killer. I believe. Yeah, Totally Killer. Yeah, it was on Amazon Prime.
Brilliant.
I watched it a couple of times now. The first time I wasn't too sure, but to be fair, I wasn't really paying that much attention to it at the time neither. So I rewatched it and I actually quite like it. I thought it was quite good. But yeah, I've just finished doing Halloween 5 and 6. So I'm a bit jaded at the moment. I don't want to carry on. I don't want to watch any more Halloween movies. But I've got a Halloween H2O coming up. And then I'll have, obviously, the best one in the series, which is Resurrection. And then that one.
Yeah, all right.
So hopefully after I get them out the way, I'll be able to check out some newer ones like When Evil Lurks, I think it's called, which is getting like rave reviews at the moment. Hopefully I'll be able to check out Thanksgiving soon as well. So yeah, there's a lot coming up. There's a lot I'm actually excited to watch.
Now that Thanksgiving to me is a bit of a
Yes.
I don't know if that Thanksgiving is good or not because I see the short trailer, the short one they do, and it looks all right. I see the long trailer and I'm like, have you just shown me all the best bits of the film? Because you don't have a 4-minute long trailer and have an amazing movie after that 4 minutes, do you? So I'm sort of in two minds, and I'm not really a big horror fan, as you know. But stuff like Happy Death Day and stuff like that, sort of, I can sit there and watch that, and I sort of get that vibes from that Thanksgiving. That, or I Know What You Did Last Summer, which was a bit of a sort of a silly sort of slasher movie, and I think that's what the sort of vibes I get from that. I'm looking for. I've always kind of, because I think when the first trailer dropped I mean, it was just a teaser put in front of the Grindhouse movie, wasn't it? Like Planet Terror and Death Proof. It was just a fake trailer. Yeah. And I've always wanted to kind of see a movie of that, and I never thought I'd ever see the day it would happen. And then I mean, how long has it been since? I mean, that Grindhouse movie came out. We're talking like maybe 15, 16 years ago at least. Yeah,
aren't we? So to take them this long to do it, it's surprising. But I'm actually looking forward to it. I haven't watched a decent slasher for a while. And some of the early reviews I've been seeing of it's been really positive. There's been a lot of good buzz around it, so I'm looking forward to it. I was a bit gutted that when I went to New York Comic Con, there was a Thanksgiving panel that I was supposed to go to, but he cancelled on the day, Elroth. And the big rumor is that we were probably going to watch the movie there for the first time. So I was absolutely gutted that didn't happen. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get into cinemas over here. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. The other one that I'm sort of looking forward to is that Talk to Me. Now, when we went to cinema a couple of weeks ago, because it's been in the cinema. It's strange that because it's down as a 2022 movie. It's just been in the cinemas over here, and it's already on Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's like, was it delayed on the release over here because it wasn't that great, or did they just time it right for Halloween type of Halloween release, but it was released earlier in the States? I don't know. But the trailer looked all right. The premise looks okay. It was one where I didn't really want to go spend loads of money to go and watch it in the cinema, though. But like I said, I'm spoiled now because it's come straight onto Netflix. So I'm definitely going to have a go at that. And the other thing I'm looking forward to is the season 2 of Squid Games, because they keep dropping more and more of that now. The film and they're in production and stuff like that. And that looks quite good. So sort of sticking with the horror stroke thriller type of thing. Yeah. There you go, Squid Games Part 2. Steve, have you got anything to add on any of this?
I was just waiting my turn.
Well, you are just to explain to little Steve, he is the co-host. He can speak and
right. I didn't realise. I wish you told me that earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been doing this for centuries. First of all, hello everybody. We're not ignoring you. Hope everybody's well. So I was saying to Steve, I watched that Saw X the other day. I think I enjoyed it more than a lot of the sequels.
Yeah.
I sort of It took me a little while to digest and sort of think, right, well, you know, I think it's because is it like a direct sequel to number one?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be set between the first two movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got around to that. That was brilliant. That was enjoyable. That talked to me. I think I'm the same as you, Steve. I want to watch it, but it's just that it really has come onto the platform really quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah. But when you read it, it says it's 2022. So I don't know if it was the tail end of 2022 in the States or wherever, like Australia or somewhere, and then it was held back over here for the Halloween sort of release, because we got that one and Cobweb and Saw X. They all sort of dropped at the same time, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then, like you say, it sort of just went straight onto Netflix. I think it's still in the cinema now, isn't it? That talk to me.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. I think it's been like a little while. Anyway, I think probably for 2022 reasons, it probably went into festivals then near the end of the year. So that's probably why it's got 2022 on it.
Yeah.
And
she's shouting up the stairs. No, it's not. So it must have dropped off the cinema. So yeah.
So yeah, it must have been in festivals or something. But I think it was always planned for like a wide release in 2023 anyway. I think that's the idea of it, because I watched it about, I don't know, I think I did my review maybe a couple of months ago of it. I thought the film was okay. I wasn't overly like blown away by it or anything. But I think for a first time, for the director's first time, because he used to do YouTube.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I used to love their channel on YouTube. I thought it was fucking nuts. Like, but they were very talented guys, clearly. And I thought for their first effort, you can't fault them. I thought they did a decent job. I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5 or a 3.5 out of 5. So it was a positive review, like, but it's like about 95% on Rotten Tomatoes or something in it, and I'm not that high on it.
No.
Yeah. No. I thought for the first effort, I thought they did a good job. I wouldn't mind seeing another one.
Do you think it scored so highly because it's not part of a universe? It's not part of a continuation of something, or
yeah. I mean, the film is good. I mean, it's got that going for it as well, and it was well directed. It's well acted, and it's a little bit of a unique premise as well. I mean, and there's some creepy moments in it. I'm not going to lie. There was a couple of times where I was like, I have like fuck that moments when it comes to horror movies, and there's 2 of them in that movie for me. But yeah, I just thought overall it was a solid effort. I think that's why it kind of scored so high. I think the audience reaction is quite high with it as well. So I think a lot of people liked it more than I did anyway, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah.
Hey, Lainey. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah. The thing that, like I say, the thing for me is that we were talking to Luke on last week's show. He jumped on towards the end, and Luke's half our age, so he's sort of in this. He's sort of in this teenage era that a lot of these horrors are sort of aiming towards, and it was like, are any of these taking your fancy and stuff like that? And no, the short answer we got was no.
Yeah, I remember now.
It's like, are we tailoring? Because we've spoke a couple of times about the so-called teen horror sort of genre that horror's sort of going towards now. Are we missing that? And you said slasher type movie. Are we missing that adult slasher movie now that we would have had a decade, 2 decades ago? Are we missing that one?
I think that's the reason why things like Scream's come out again now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's a resurgence in the Scream franchise because there isn't those sort of movies now.
But again, though, the Scream sort of like the Final Destination type murders, isn't it? It's silly stuff. There's no just let me just rip your guts out and let you bleed all over the floor type movies anymore. Or
you sound really disappointed. No, it's like, you just don't see the guts anymore.
I could probably sit and watch something like that instead of watching a cat jump out of a cupboard and then a ghost standing over your shoulder. You know, that
It's all about jump scares now, isn't it?
Yeah. And the jump scares are what get me, but I think we're missing that gore, that actual horror
Yeah, I
type
know what you mean.
of film.
I saw a post today about some Warner Brothers releases on one of the movie channel pages, and what I did notice was there's a Final Destination, I think next year or the year after, so they're doing another one.
Yeah, well, they're talking about releasing the mega box set, aren't they?
Are they?
They'll do one and then they release. I think we're on about 8, is it? With the new one?
No,
I was just going to say, how many actually is there of them now? Because I
think
after two. I think I've only seen the first 2. I think there's what, 5, 6?
Yeah, there's 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 3D and 5.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So the new one will be 6.
Yeah, wasn't last one just called The Final Destination or something like that?
Yeah.
They pulled the Fast and the Furious on us, didn't they? And called it the.
This is definitely the last one. At least for 10 years.
Yeah, like Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah. I've got like another 5 after that.
Matt says second one was the best.
Yeah. So
was that the second one was the airplane, wasn't it?
No, the first one
was the second one was on
the road crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, the highway accident. That was amazing, that.
Yeah.
Mind you, I must admit, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the roller coaster on number 3. But I think after that, it just gets probably a little bit silly after that. I mean, the actual, I can't take anything away from the death scenes, like the actual initial incident that happens, if you like.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual stories after that were all a bit.
It was the actress in the first one. Was it Kristen? Was it? She plays the teacher. Kristen.
You've got Devon, Sora, Ali, Lata, and Kerry Smith.
Yeah, they're the young. That Devon's the young girl, isn't it? She's the one that sees everything.
Yeah.
But that the teacher's Kristen something or other. She was in Space Above and Beyond and stuff like that. Yeah. But again, she was sort of like a flash in the pan sort of. She was in a couple of TV series, in a couple of movies. Then you don't see her after that.
No,
it's like Final Destination actually killed her career. That was like her final destination. Done.
Yeah. I remember going back in the day. I think I went to the cinema back in the day to watch it, the first one, and I haven't watched it that much since. I've got to be honest with you, but I think it's a decent little horror movie. The first one.
Oh, the first one, definitely.
Yeah. You know, it was something different. Which, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't avoid that kind of thing. It's gonna come and get you again.
Yeah. So, you know, I think one of the girls got hit by a bus, didn't she?
That's right. Yeah.
It was like out of nowhere, and I don't remember seeing that in any sort of movie up until that point.
It was the end of the film, wasn't it? They were all saying they were all waving bye at the coffee shop, weren't they? We survived it. We got away with it, but nothing's happened for the last 6 months. And next thing you know, she just bye, but bang, gone, wiped out. And
I think the bus scene's like halfway through it. The ending's that fucking like the sign, isn't it? That snaps off the building and then comes down and fucking twats them or something.
It just reminds me of fucking Casualty. You know, where you sort of see him and you're like, yeah, he's in it. Yeah, he's in it. Yeah. You know, like I'd say it all the time. It's like, yeah, it's just driving down the road, love, with my eyes closed. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'll be fine. I'll be home in time for tea. And you're like, yeah, you're not making it home, mate.
Yeah, Kristen Schoke. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember her surname then for a second. I really like a zombie movie where you don't see the zombies. Many people have heard of it. Pontypool.
No, I've never heard of that.
That sounds like a Welsh town.
It does, doesn't it? I've heard of it. I've never seen it though. But it's always if you have a look at like a recommendation list for horror movies, that's normally in there. But yeah, definitely, yeah, I have to check it out. It's with another one as well that always gets recommended to me, which I need to check out. I think it's called Lake Mungo or Mango or something like that. I'm not too sure. It's an Australian one, but that's same. That's on nearly like every horror list you ever look at.
Yeah.
So I need to check that out.
Yeah, reading movie says the first Final Destination was a great original idea. Yeah,
There was. I mean, it's pretty terrifying to think about as well. I mean, at the end of the day, when your time's up, regardless. Like you can't escape it. It's just going to keep coming back for you constantly, and that's bloody horrible.
Yeah, there's the line in there, isn't there? It says death's got a plan for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, and like you say, you don't see it coming. I think the bit where they're in the car, was it the train? One of them's in the train and they couldn't get the seatbelt off, and one of them gets out, one of them doesn't, and stuff like that, you know. And I think some of the death scenes were quite original. Getting burnt to death on a sunbed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That one was amazing. That's
just not a way to go. That is it.
But do you know when you're talking about scenes like that being burnt to death in a sunbed? There's a scene that just popped into my mind there. It's the end of Hannibal. Do you know where he's eating the brain?
And
I came out of watching Hannibal wanting bacon, and I don't know what it is. The fact that he sat there eating Ray LaRossa's brain, and I just wanted bacon at the end of that, and I was just like, yeah, it must, you know, because he just flash fries it and then he eats it.
You just fancied a bacon butty, did you?
I just fancy a bacon butty, yeah.
Bloody hell.
Oh god.
I fancy some meat.
Yeah. I can't remember a time where I've watched something like that in a horror movie and gone, oh fucking hell, do you know what? I fancy a spag bowl now or something. Not once. I'm more reaching for the whiskey, I think.
I mean, the thing is that there's a few people that have mentioned, like reading movies, have said felt the same about the first Saw movie, Great Watch. You know, the ones that we've talked about so far, they have a unique story plot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think they come to a point now where they stretch them out through so many movies that it's almost like they saturate it. They saturate the market with it.
Yeah.
This is the point I was making about that Talk to Me.
Yeah.
You know, it's an original film. It's not part of a series, so you've got nothing to hook it onto. We were talking the other week about the nostalgia thing, about like the Bad Boys and stuff like that, where Ghostbusters, we were talking about the Ghostbusters trailer, where, you know, and stuff like that. And I think that's the problem with these. If we get a Talk to Me 5, and there's only so many demons that can come through a hand to take people, isn't there? You know.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, mate, when Hollywood starts making money, they will rinse it till no more money comes out of it, mate. And
I think this is the problem, innit? I mean, you look at it and you go, "Oh, that was an amazing movie," and you just know the next 2 years, 3 years are going to be the same stuff, you know, just churned out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They will rinse it out till no more dollars can come out of it, and that's always been the case. It's the case now, and it will stay the case till we're fucking gone. You know what I mean? It's if they can, because the thing is with horror movie as well, and especially when it comes to horror franchises, they're not expensive to make, but they make a fortune.
Yeah,
it's a very easy profit, and I think Blumhouse have nailed that. Like, they make their movies for next to nothing, and then they're making hundreds of millions at the box office.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
there you are. It'll always happen. Unfortunately, you'll get like an original idea. It'll be a great movie, and then you know you're going to get part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6 is going to come, and then at some point they'll all be in fucking space, because that's what happens in horror movies. You know, that hand will end up on a fucking spaceship somewhere. You know what I mean? And
it's accidentally been made into like the walnut dashboard of the shuttlecraft. And
Alien versus the hand.
When the astronaut touches the dashboard, all of a sudden he gets
Gets
it's like was it Critters 4 when they were in space?
Mm.
God, I didn't. Do you know what? I never bothered with 4. I think I remember watching Critters 3 and then just going, yeah, that's enough for me. Like, that was it. I haven't watched Critters 4. And I think a new one came, well, I say new. I think like they tried to kind of reboot it a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was like a newish one. I haven't bothered with that one either.
I've heard Critters 4 was the best one.
Really?
Yeah, you missed out, I think. You might need to watch it.
Weirdly enough, I think you're lying to me.
I
But I it's all right, mate. I don't mind being lied to. It's fine. I'll watch it.
This just reminds me of the time when someone recommended a little film called Vamp to us and said that we'd really enjoy it.
Oh, fucking yeah, damn right.
I'll tell you what, Little Steve, if you send Critters 4, I'll watch it.
Well, I can't keep supplying you with decent quality movies, I'm afraid. Especially when I'm watching Vamp. Jesus. The sad thing about that, it's got an Arrow release. It's got a bloody Arrow release, which means it's usually quality.
Yeah. I love the fact that you two hate that movie, and I love it.
Steve?
I got to the bit in Vamp and where they're in the coffee shop and you meet the albinos ordering the white coffees. And I thought that was
yeah.
a big twist. But you don't see them after that. And I'm like, where have they gone? And then all of a sudden they're out. So they're out on the street when they're getting chased down by the vampires. And I'm like, I really don't know what I've watched in that whole entire film. That compare that's in the nightclub. I don't know if he was trying to be, or if they took the Teach character from Dusk Till Dawn and give him a bit more of a personality.
Yeah,
I don't know. I really don't know what I was watching. There's not many times. In fact, do you know what? I felt like someone had took a bit of my brain out at the end of that film and sat there eating it. I lost cells after that film.
That's impossible. There wasn't much in there.
Do you know what, man? There's got to be people in the comments have got to back me up on this. There's got to be fans of Vamp. There's got to be.
Rob said Vamp was a great film.
See? It's got to be.
Oh, my God. But I don't know if we just watched it because that was probably the third film in a run of bad homework movies, wasn't it, Steve? I think we got 5 on the bounce that were like, what have we just watched?
Do you know what? We should have about 100 people a week watching us just for the fact that we're such dedicated to watching this crap that people keep telling us to watch.
Oh, I know. I mean, I feel you. I feel you when I finish
that's
watching.
What the homework VT says. That's what the homework VT says when we run it. It says homework movie we suffer so you don't have to.
Yeah.
And that's the tag. That's the movie tagline.
Honestly,
So I've got to interrupt this Halloween thing for just 2 seconds because those lights behind you, Steve.
Yeah.
I've been watching the last 2 days. I've binge watched Loki series 1 and 2, and all I can think about is some sort of bloody teleport system behind you. I've literally gone through 12 episodes of Loki, and then them lights and the fact that when you moved, it goes down the bottom as well. It's literally like one of them fucking portals.
It's a door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
get that out. Feel better now.
You see, that's a question that's going to haunt me now because it was the same time. It was the same time that we watched all these movies one after the other. Dave, question:
Yes.
Lost in Translation or Vamp?
Slightly different movies.
God, if I had to pick to watch now, if I had to pick one, if I had 2 movies to pick, it's got to be Vamp because I love Vamp. Look, have I watched fucking Lost in Translation? I don't know. That's an honest answer. I have no idea.
You came on the week after we watched Lost in Translation.
Mm.
We had 5 films. Lost in Translation. This is where he was in Hong Kong or somewhere, isn't he? And he falls in love with
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson.
Johansson.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Yeah. I've just got flashbacks of wanting to slip your wrists. Yeah. Cheers for that question, reading. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, just coming back to me, freaking the Halloween thing. Like, just listening to you there, that's how I felt when Halloween 5 finished. And I literally sat there as the fucking credits are going up on it. And I'm like, I really don't want to fucking do this anymore. Like, I was going to shut down the channel, everything.
You know,
I haven't.
It's just reminded me what I said about Lost in Translation while we were on the live stream with you.
Well, go on.
Because it's on the greatest movies list to watch before you die.
Yes.
And I was like, the person that recommended that for that list deserved to bloody die after that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I remember that critique. Fucking hell.
So, I take it you're wearing a fan of the movie then?
Oh,
I think I've seen it, but I don't remember. Honestly,
it's a memorable one.
You sat there and you're watching it for an hour and a half, right? So they're flirting with each other, whatever. Then they get together, and then it finishes, and it's just like, no, actually, they get together. Then they said they're not going to see each other again because she's cheating on her husband to be or something or other. So they don't get to see.
We have to believe that Bill Murray in this movie could pull Scarlett Johansson.
That's what's genius about it.
Like a young one as well.
Yeah.
You lost me there.
It means there's always hope if you watch this.
Translation, you've just fucking lost me full stop.
I'm like, what am I watching here? So they get together, they spend the night together, then he decides he's leaving, and then he decides he's staying, and she bins off her husband to be or whoever it is. Yeah. And then I was like, what the hell am I watching here?
I think I've seen probably like scenes of it. I don't think I've sat there and watched it from like fucking start to finish.
Yeah,
I think I've seen bits and pieces of it kind of, throughout the years or whatever. I think. Well, I've never had any interest in like in there and watching it at all.
So
no.
I don't think, although I've got the movies, I don't think I've actually got through Halloween 4 and 5 that I can remember.
You can stop at 4, to be honest.
Well, I mean, the thing is that for me, it can't be worse than Halloween Ends.
Well, do you know what? Well, little Steve.
Well, yes.
I've got news for you.
Is it?
I thought the same thing until I fucking started rewatching these fuckers. No, at the moment, I will say, like, Halloween Ends is the way. Oh God, no! It's hard, man. I hate the movie. There's not a lot of movies I hate, but I actively hate Halloween Ends. Like, really hate it. There's not a lot of movies that I walk out the cinema and I'm genuinely pissed off.
Do you think we can get like a director's cut where that guy's not in it at all? Then even if they just take him out of the scene.
Yeah.
And the actors are just talking to no one. That would be better.
Yeah, a 10-minute cut. Yeah.
That's like being on one of our weekly live streams, co-hosting.
You cheeky son. I'm not saying it.
I don't know, mate. Because Halloween 5 isn't the greatest. It's pretty bad, to be fair. But I've just done Halloween 6, so that's the latest one I've just done, and I punished myself by watching both versions. So there's a theatrical cut and there's a producer's cut.
You watched it twice?
Yeah, but the both right. So I'm not good at that. Well, it's just there's different. So basically, went with Halloween 4, 5, and 6 is known as the Fawn trilogy, right? Which is like the fucking cult or whatever. And so Michael Myers has got this like tattoo thing here.
Yeah.
This symbol. which they put into more Halloween 5. So the writers of Halloween 5 kind of put this in with this tattoo on Michael Myers' wrist. And then there's a man in black that's like walking around, isn't there? You just see him occasionally, he just pops up in scenes. But they don't explain anything about it. It's just random.
Yeah.
So the writer of Halloween 6 was like, fucking, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Basically, like, he's got to pick the baton up and then fucking, like, make something up with it. He should have just, like, binned it off anyway. He shouldn't have bothered. So it's all about this cult. And apparently this cult, like, they, you know, oh, God, it's fucking terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are listening to the podcast for the first time, I apologize for the 15 effings during Halloween 5 and 6 review there.
sorry guys, that's how much I suffered. But
you're still with us.
Apologies. But yeah, and they tried to explain, like, kind of like they control Michael Myers, and when Michael Myers was a kid, he obviously saw like a man in black telling him to kill his family, kill his bloodline, and all that. And it's so dumb. But the producer's cut kind of sticks with the cult thing and kind of runs with it. Whereas the theatrical cut, it is in there, but it's not really,
it's sort of hidden and unexplained.
It's kind of in the background kind of thing, but both versions are just God.
So, you might have seen me just check. You might have seen me just checking my phone. Then Lana's obviously found my Kit Kat Chunkies in the fridge, and she sent me a message saying "fridge chocolate." So where do you guys stand on chocolate? Is it fridge or cupboard?
Fridge.
Cupboard. You don't need it in the fridge. It makes it like rock. If I wanted to do that, I'd just eat Yorkies. Toblerone's the worst.
No, because every time I leave it in the cupboard and I go to get it, it's just melting everywhere.
That's in summer. No, you don't.
It's terrible.
You don't put chocolate in the fridge at this time of year. You just don't.
You put chocolate in the fridge all year.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
You do.
Why did you want to break your teeth? Why would you want to break your teeth? Defo fridge, Kel says. I'm not having this.
Fridge chocolate. Fridge chocolate's the way to go.
Yeah.
Right. So there we go. We just took that in a strange direction.
So
the unexpected.
So after Halloween 6, so I've got H2O up next, which I actually quite like. So that's not going to be a chore to watch. I don't mind H2O. But then the next one after that's Resurrection.
Sorry, we just need to interrupt this for a very important announcement. Are you joking me?
My God, what?
You cannot be serious, Chris. Sometimes the freezer.
It depends how quick you want to get melted chocolate back hard, doesn't it?
Oh my good God. Freezer.
Just to chuck it in the microwave.
Yeah. Just warm it back up again.
After that, or Chris, he's bought 15,000 candy bars and has to put them in the freezer to keep them.
No, it's to keep him away from Belle. So she knows that it's not. It's like she would never think of looking in the freezer for chocolate. So he's like, no, love, I haven't got any. Give me more of that keto diet stuff.
Cream eggs in the freezer. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It'd be just frozen eggs.
Because the cream egg chocolate is squishy, isn't it?
Kel puts. I'm sure she's doing this on purpose now. Wine comes in the freezer.
Yeah,
if you buy the Maynard's one, is it not hard enough as it is? Or the Lions one?
It's not actual vodka or anything like that, Kel. It's just not. Right. Let's get back. Let's get back on topic now. Sorry, Lana threw me there by shouting at me for putting chocolate in the fridge. You can put vodka in the freezer, and that it doesn't actually freeze, does it? Vodka, it just keeps it nice and cool. The the best thing to do with vodka is put a load of Skittles in it and then leave it on the window ledge for a couple of weeks. And
Oh,
just
I'm
let
glad
it
we've
all
gone back
ferment.
onto the subject of movies again. After
Yeah.
telling me that that's what we were doing.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go.
Let's go back to the torture of Halloween.
Yeah, let's get back to me swearing every second word. No, no, it was so bad to sit through. But yeah, then I've got Resurrection, which I'm dreading. I haven't watched that film since I went to the cinema to watch it. So I am actively dreading Halloween Resurrection, and then that's me done because I'm not doing the Rob Zombie ones. I refuse. I'll do them next year.
And you got to complete it, haven't you? And you got to complete this quest.
I'll do it next year, man. I think after Halloween Resurrection, I'll be done.
So are you a Star Wars fan, Dave?
No, is the easy answer.
Would you sit through the 9 Star Wars movies just to
There's
give them
more
a
than
watch?
that, but the Skywalker trilogy.
I
Skywalker.
Forget your Rogue One, forget your Solo. You know, would you sit through 1 to 9?
I couldn't think of anything worse, mate, to be honest with you. No.
I can. Halloween kills ends.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'd watch all that over Halloween Ends. That's true. No, I've never really been into Star Wars or like Star Trek or anything like that, mate. It's just never really appealed to me at all.
See, I can sit there and I can watch the Trek movies all day.
Yeah.
Just
He does
plowing
most
through.
days.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Say, I came across a great little film the other day on YouTube that I've not seen. It was Transformers the movie. So someone put a HD copy on YouTube, so I was like, oh, okay. It just come across as I was watching videos and whatever else. Yeah, the cartoon movie. Yeah. So I was just watching videos, and then do you know when you just let YouTube just play? Do you know when you just got it on in the background, and then I heard, and it was Transformers the movie, and I was like, this is staying on.
Right. I have a love-hate relationship with that movie because
really?
I went to the cinema to watch that. I remember my dad taking me. I was like, God, must have been like what, 5 or 6, something like that. And I took Optimus Prime with me because he was my favorite. And spoiler alert, did not expect him to die.
10 minutes into the film.
Yeah, I remember like the opening of it. So like when they go onto the ship, and like near enough, like half the Autobots just get absolutely massacred. In like the first
do you know what the worst death in that film is? It's not Prime, because Prime's a slow death.
Yeah.
It's Prowl. When you see Prowl just go grey and have the smoke coming out of his eyes, and it was just like, oh Christ!
Steve, we haven't got time for your counselling session afterwards.
And then when he like assassinates the Ironhide, such heroic nonsense. It was just like you just literally blew his head off, and you're just like, wow, okay, awesome. I know what I'm getting into here now. As you say, what was it, 86? So I was 4. Yeah. So that's like a 5-6-year-old getting it on VHS. I was just like, okay, you've just killed all of these people off. Mom, I want all those toys.
Honestly, the first 5 minutes of that movie, like what it did to a generation of kids, just crippled them emotionally. Like I just couldn't believe what I was watching at the time. Like, and then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I can't wait for Prime to like we can get his hands on them all. Like, you know what I mean? Couldn't obviously. But then like that scene where Prime and then that music kicks in, you got the touch and all that bit. I can still watch
as he's jumping out the arc.
Yeah. I can still watch that scene now, and I'm like fist pumping the air, man. It still gets me going. I'm like, yeah come on, son. Kick their ass. And then like that battle with Megatron was just epic. Like you've been kind of waiting for that for like years with watching the cartoon, you know?
You've literally just made Big Steve's day here. You realise this, don't you? He's in his bloody element at this point.
I mate, I absolutely adore that movie. Adore it. I wore that VHS tape out when I was a kid of that film.
Yeah.
Wore it out. But then, yeah, Optimus Prime dying in that movie really broke my heart, man. But I find it hard to watch now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sat there, and you see Hot Rod, and you just go, "Come on, Daniel, we'll go to Lookout Mountain," and he's trying, and then you see Cup, you young punk, and all this, like, and it's just like, right. So these are all the introductions to all the new characters, and then you just wipe out my childhood in the next scene.
Basically, yeah. Because they were like, right, we need to get these new toys out, so you're buying these next. We're wiping the old ones out, getting these ones.
Do you ever wonder what Springer's got to do that night? I've got better things to do today than die. Do you ever wonder what Springer had in planned between him and RC?
Bloody hell, you two.
What?
Yeah, he did have better things to do than die.
He did have better things to do than die, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, Steve, do you want me to lend you the film?
No, I'm good, mate. I just Graz said about 3 hours ago that Transformers. He walked out of Transformers 2.
The Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, and then we've got a couple of comments after that going on about Exorcist Reviews. Don't get him started on the soundtrack. Jesus,
The soundtrack's awesome. Instruments of Destruction, great. That is brilliant. When they take over the ship and that kicks in. You've then got, like I say, you've got The Touch. You've got There's on my gym playlist. I have that on quite a bit there. And I've even got the kids listening to there as well because they love it as well. And then you've got a couple of the other ones on there as well, which is just absolutely superb. It's just when it kicks in. Yeah. But when you've got like Rumble and Frenzy and that playing the trumpets on Starscream's coronation, and it's just like, and then Galvatron drops in.
Yeah, I love his death, Starscream's death. I loved it.
Yeah,
still do. Because I hate Starscream. I hate him. Absolutely hate him. So I was made.
Just before she goes, we've got Lainey next week doing the movie quiz. Dave, are you free?
I can be, mate. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good because we've got a good lineup next week planned.
Okay.
I haven't spoken to them yet, but Lainey's quiz will put you through your paces.
Spoiler alert: we've got a whole section dedicated to The Greatest Showman.
God,
that'll be the only way you beat me. Would be Greatest Showman.
So basically, what you're telling me is I've got to watch The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, I'd just brush up on it just in case, Dave.
There's no brushing up on it, mate. I haven't even seen the damn thing. I hate musicals, mate. Hate them.
My God, are you sure? We need like a Jeremy Kyle DNA test for you two. I swear to God.
Why don't you like musicals as well, Big Steve? No?
I hate them.
Oh my God.
I cannot stand them. I'm going to tell you a little story here. You'll feel sorry for me, right? So when I was a cinema assistant manager, when I first started, in my first 6 months, Mamma Mia was released in cinemas, and that film plagued me for about 9 months because that's how long it was on for.
Nah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Honest to God, mate, we couldn't take it off the screen. I tried to get rid of that movie for weeks and months, and just
kept hiding it.
Lady, you do that to me, and you're never coming on the show again.
Oh, big words.
Yeah. It's my show. It's not his. It's mine.
Really? Yeah, you seriously think that, don't you? You and your doppelganger now.
Do you know? We were talking last week about The Greatest Showman because we were saying that Little Steve snuck another copy of The Greatest Showman into a gift box he gave me when we went down to us the other week. And he does this all the time. When he stayed at ours, Dave, he hid musicals all in me displays. So I was rooting for days, picking copies of musicals out of me shelves.
It got that bad. He was like, "I'm gonna have to rip the house apart now." I'm like, "No, you've got them all."
Because I
And
went
still
to bed
found the
at a
last one.
reasonable time. I went to bed at a reasonable time. And what I didn't realize was that he joined somebody else's live stream that night. He was live as he was hiding Blu-rays and DVDs in the room here. And so I was like, oh. But you see it. I'm on one of my videos, right? And you hear me go, the little git. And there was a copy of The Greatest Showman hiding behind here or something.
Wasn't that Grease 1 and 2?
Yeah, I just caught it on the side of what it was, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. So we were talking last week, and it's not the fact that it's a bad film; it's an awful film. 3 hours of my life I would never get back. Right?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's not just
Hey,
that.
Jamie.
You had the soundtrack in the top 10. I think it was like the top 20 for about 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Songs 1 to 20 was all The Greatest Showman. And then when that was dying out, they released them all again with the likes of Pink and people like that doing them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, my God. So I had half a year of The Greatest Showman soundtrack after having 8 months of The Greatest Showman on the cinema with nothing else because they were still showing like 18 screens.
It could be worse. You could have ended up with Mamma Mia for 9 months.
Mm.
I think that broke him by the looks of it.
Oh, it did. Do you know what made that worse, though, mate, as well? Is that when I finally did get rid of it, there was this like sing-along version that got released.
Yeah.
So then we got that.
Oh, brilliant.
I had heard that.
Brilliant.
I tell you, it was ABBA. It was Mamma Mia that happened here. I just turned my hair out like that. It was horrible.
It's pronounced Jamie, and Mum was on morphine when forgot to put the E on the end of her name.
Sorry.
Yeah. So anytime like I hear ABBA now, I've like developed like a twitch just above my eye here, like a muscle spasm goes off.
Do you know what? Go back, ladies and gents. If you haven't already, then please go and find my review of The Greatest Showman. I think that is the best review of that film you'll ever see. All right.
Oh.
Right. It's awesome. It's a great review, especially what I did to the disc afterwards.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. So I'll tell you what, if we do get the Greatest Showman kind of section in this quiz, I'll have a guess.
I'll have a guess.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it.
That's what Steve will be doing.
Yeah. I'll just have a guess. I don't care. I can't sit through musicals, man. I just can't do it. No.
To me, it's musicals in general. I just can't do musicals.
No, but you can though. You're alone. You're talking nonsense.
Oh no,
Little Shop of Horrors.
The Blues Brothers is not a musical.
No, it's not.
Is there music in it? Is it sing along?
It's not a musical.
Okay. I'm with Big Steve on this one.
Little Shop of Horrors.
No.
It's a film
You
made
even have the same facial expressions, both of you. You both know.
I would, to be fair, little Steve, if my dad was still alive, I would be having fucking words with him. I'd be like, look, what's going on?
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
I'm telling you, mate.
Little Shop of Horrors was a film that was made into a stage show, and they filmed a stage show.
yeah.
Was it a musical?
No, not originally.
I don't consider it a musical myself.
See, I know there's more than that. I'm trying to think of what the other one was you like, Steve, because I know there's more than that. But don't you dare try and tell me you don't like musicals when you actually listen to musicals.
I don't like musicals. I like Phantom of the Opera. That's not a musical.
What?
Phantom of the Opera is not a musical.
Of course it is.
Show. It's not. It's a theatrical show.
So they do Greatest Showman in Broadway or wherever. Then it's classed as a stage show.
Do you know what I consider a musical, Steve? People that go, hello, my name's Steve, and I'm about to go and have a shit, and then I'm going to have a cup of tea, and then Dave will go, hello, my name is Dave, and I'll have a cup of tea.
In the same voice. because
Yeah,
you're the same
because
fucking
we're
person.
the same dad. We've got the same accent, right? So, but that's a musical, right? There's a difference between Bohemian Rhapsody. There's a difference between Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
One's a film that's got singing in it, and one's shite, right?
I just want to hear the end of that song. To be honest with you, and I'm going for a shit.
Oh, that's brilliant. But like I say, yeah, for me, I don't like all musicals, but there's certain ones that I enjoy. You know,
you like the majority of them.
But I think I am sort of in some ways the same as you in the respect that I don't particularly like the ones that are always singing the story to me. I'd rather it be musical songs in there. Like I say, The Greatest Showman, that's songs inside of it. It's not singing. It's a lot of it isn't about like stage musicals where it's singing from start to finish.
Yeah.
You know, so I get what you mean with that.
The hardest one.
Halloween the musical, yeah. Can you imagine?
The hardest watch was it Sunshine on Leaf or Sunshine?
Yeah, Sunshine on Leaf. Yeah.
We had to watch that, and I got about 5 seconds into that film before that went off, and he came out of Edinburgh train station, and that was it. They were singing, and I didn't realize it was is it the Proclaimers? It was their musical.
Oh, right.
That was it. I was done then. After that, I was like, no, I'm 5-10 seconds into this film. This is going off now, because that's another one. That's where they were singing all the way through, right from the off. They start singing. Gone.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was me going.
Were you just having a joke?
Yeah, I think so. That is my point, Jamie. Look at that. That is my point. It is a musical. Technicalities. We've all just witnessed movie chats the musical.
Oh God, no!
Nice one, Kel.
No.
Oh,
I'm
brilliant!
still getting flashbacks of Mamma Mia. Actually, I'm still like I'm reliving it all over again.
That's your PTSD kicking in.
He'll be ringing up the counsellor when he gets up, going, "It's happened again."
It's happened again. Mamma Mia, here we go. No. It was horrible.
Look, the thing for me is that I can enjoy films like Bohemian Rhapsody and 8 Mile and stuff like that, where it is like songs within the film. Blues Brothers is a great example of that.
Yes.
What?
Well, I've got backup here.
Why?
That I have to turn the thing down so you can see it. But 1 second. It is the Phantom of the Opera, the 1986 musical. Do you see how it says there on Wikipedia?
Yeah,
it's a musical. So you
just said there though that The Greatest Showman is not necessarily a musical because it's got songs in it, but yet all plastered across the front is the greatest musical of our time. Just because it's got the word in there doesn't necessarily make it is. You just debunked your own argument, you dickhead.
No, I haven't.
Wow.
No. You like musicals, admit it, Steve.
Hang on. How come I put on a high-pitched voice when I pretend to sing, but you just do that anyway when you try to argue? No! It's like someone's just twisted your dick.
It's like listening to me mum and dad argue. Stop.
He's having flashbacks to that now.
Sorry, Dad.
It's all right, we're not angry.
No, it's not my fault, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm just picturing the people that pick us up for the first time ever on like, Spotify, and this is what they get.
I think we lost that about 5 minutes in when we were explaining Halloween 5. I think if we stuck around after that, we're all right, to be fair. Jamie said she
agrees with me.
saw Mamma Mia live in Vegas. It had audience participation. It was super fun. Super fun. See?
Oh, that's just
The Greatest Showman is definitely a musical, according to Jamie. So
I'd rather put Red Hot Iron in my eyes than having to sing along to Mamma Mia.
Would you go near ketchup instead of singing along to Mamma Mia?
Do you know what? I'd actually bathe in mayonnaise than go and sing with Mamma Mia.
I would scrape my balls along broken glass. Before doing that.
I'm telling you, it's some Jeremy Kyle show needs to happen with you two.
I'd rather eat chocolate from a cupboard than look at sing around to Mamma Mia.
Fucking hell. Toblerone from a freezer.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, man, Chris has gone off and got the definition of soft and hard musicals.
Right, okay, go on then. Soft musical.
Soft musical. Cast sings occasionally songs, i.e. The Greatest Show. In hard musicals, the cast sings every word of the script, i.e. Les
Miserables. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, God, God, we had that as well. Oh.
However, the problem that I've got there is that both of those films, I believe, have Hugh Jackman in, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. He'll be having flashbacks, won't he?
Yeah.
That one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was another one. That was another one as well. We couldn't get rid of for ages because there's a actress in it called Samantha Barks, who's from the Isle of Man. So everyone over here, everyone and their dog went to watch that freaking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't get rid of that for these months on end either.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Jamie's put Dave, Moulin Rouge, my channel, we're doing it.
No, we're not. Sorry, Jamie, I'm washing my hair that night. I'm putting pins in my eyes. Bleach.
just while we're going down the musical route, shall we take a little diversion down the chick flick rom-coms? Because I remember the last time, Dave, that one of the times that you've been on the show, you were quite enjoying the conversation about the rom-coms. So
I don't mind a bit rom-com.
He is. He's depends what mood he's in, mate. He's either horror or rom-com. There's no in between for him.
No.
I mean that's my soft side. My rom-com side's my soft side.
I think the phrase came out when we were talking about intolerable cruelty, wasn't it? This would be a good one when I'm on the couch with a couple of glasses of wine, I think he said.
yeah, and a box of milk tray.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that Intolerable Cruelty one? Is that the one with George Clooney? Oh my God, wasn't she a stunner back in the day? Yeah. Yeah. She probably still is. I haven't seen her for a while though. But yeah, do you know what? Weirdly enough, though, I don't mind a rom-com from time to time. I'll be honest with you, I don't.
See?
I mean, one of my favorite. Oh no, should I admit this live?
Come on. Get it.
Before, just as you're contemplating,
let it go. Let it go, mate. Come on.
Just as you're contemplating ruining your YouTube career.
A hard man, horror man.
Have you seen that we've been doing the alphabet game, me and Mike, on our Instagram? We've been sharing the film, the letters and whatever else.
Yeah.
The other day we got J, and Mike went with the obvious Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And I went with Just Like Heaven. And that's Reese Witherspoon, Mark Ruffalo, again, rom-com type of thing. And okay. Mike's comment was, I didn't expect that from you. So if you're looking for a nice light-hearted rom-com, then go and watch Just Like Kevin. It starts off with Reese Witherspoon getting ran over and ends up getting killed, and then she inherit there. She haunts him to death or something strange. Something along those lines. I think she ends up in a coma, and he moves into the apartment while she's still in the coma. It's great. It's a good fun film. Go and watch that one. Anyway, carry on. Ruin your YouTube career. Go on.
Oh well, that's already been ruined, mate. That's long gone. But for Jay, I would have gone with probably Just Friends. Have you ever seen that one with Ryan Reynolds?
Oh,
I actually think it's quite funny, to be honest with you. I don't know. But yeah, I've done. Oh, yeah, fuck it. I'll just say it anyway. One of my favorite movies ever.
Come on, you're being really brave now.
If this is Clifford the Dog and you've got a steel book of it, here we go. Yeah, he has. He's got a steel book, hasn't he?
No, it's not a steel book, but it is still in its wrapper, though. Still got the plastic over it, right? Now, I watched this first when I was like about 5 or 6, and I love it, man. I love this movie to death.
Mannequin.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it. I had a huge crush on Kim Cattrall when I was a kid.
5 years old?
Yeah, well, I was growing up fast. It was the 80s. No one cared.
Here's your mum thinking you're building Lego towers under your quilt, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No. I only liked 2 things when I was a kid. It was Kim Cattrall for Mannequin and Optimus Prime. That was it. And Lionel for Thundercats. We can't forget him.
Yeah, true.
I don't mind a good rom-com from time to time, and I adore that movie. Like,
yeah, I enjoy it. It's a great movie.
Brilliant. Yeah. The sequel, no, don't bother. It's awful.
Oh. Kel said she absolutely loves Mannequin.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, and I'm a sucker for Dirty Dancing as well.
See, once that floodgate's open, he's just moved for it now, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? You went on a 5-minute rant before about Transformers. This is where I zone out now, because you two are going to go off on how many copies of Dirty Dancing you've got that have got 30 seconds extra footage that changed the whole world.
No.
I carried the watermelons.
But what I find brilliant with Dirty Dancing is the fact that, like, when you with Baby's father and stuff, he was kind of right, really. Because she's only like about 17 or whatever, and Patrick Swayze's like in his mid-30s. If you actually watch the movie, it's like, you're a bit creepy here, Patrick. You know what I mean?
Well, if you filmed that now, that'll be on the Me Too movement next, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Patrick Swayze would have been cancelled and everything.
There you go. Jamie said you'll watch Dirty Dancing, but not Moulin Rouge. Totally unacceptable.
Well, I like to be a rebel, Jamie.
Rebel I like the songs in Moulin Rouge.
Rebel without a hair. Oh God!
Other like rom-coms I quite like.
What was on that? What was on that steelbook, Stevie? Was it Intolerable Cruelty, 13 going on 30?
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to think where I'll put it down here somewhere.
Oh, right. Oh, here's another one. I'll admit to you as well. So it wasn't that long ago I watched. I'll say not long ago, probably a year ago or something like that now. But I watched.
Hey, Junie.
I watched for the first time P.S. I Love You. Have you ever seen that?
Oh God, my God.
Yeah. Well, listen to this, right? So
you cried, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. But I'm blaming the 2 bottles of wine that I had with it. Made me emotional. The thing is, though, I'm an easy crier when it comes to movies as well. Like, I can cry quite easy at, like, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I can't, honestly. Like, I remember... Oh, no, John, I just need to think. I'm going to stop.
Do you know what? You're
going to need a drink tonight after this, aren't you?
Do you know while we're all sort of, like, confessing our soppy side here?
Yeah.
it's the end of what dreams may come.
Oh,
That
yeah.
that gets me when
Every
that
time.
sort of twist happens and you realise who they are and stuff like that. That gets me. And the other one, which is a bit surprising, is the end of Saving Private Ryan.
Mm.
You know, that's
Yeah.
another one that tugs on my heartstrings when I watch that, because you know, you go through all of that and then you find out that Matt Damon survives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I get that. I've got I was Green Mile. I bawled my eyes out with that.
Oh God, yeah.
Don't turn out the light.
Yeah, oh God, it's yeah. Oh, don't you'll make me cry now thinking about it.
Don't like the dark, boss.
Jamie and Kel are having a conversation here. They'd probably be laughing at us too. Did she turn to a horror movie or an action movie before a rom-com? And there's us saying that we're crying at the end of the Green Mile.
Absolutely. Castaway. I remember blowing my eyes out with that movie as well. It was more so when he got off the island. Actually, no, it was when he lost Wilson. Jesus Christ, like I cry over a volleyball so much in my life. Broke my heart.
Well, what's that? I thought The Greatest Showman gets you emotional. Only angry. Doesn't make me upset, it makes me angry.
Makes him rage quit.
Yeah, The Greatest Showman. I rage quit more than Whatnot resellers.
Sometimes.
But then it's like I've cried at daft things as well, but like there is a reason behind it. Like what the one that surprised me the most actually, I'm sure I've spoke about this before somewhere. When I went to watch The Flash, now it was all the part with like his mother and stuff, and it was when he had to realize that he had to like basically she had to die.
Yeah.
And he had to go back and like just change it all so it happened, and that really nailed me at the time when I was watching that movie. I was sat in the cinema, and I was streaming. Like
I'm not crying.
I was gone. But it was the thing because I mean, like at the time as well, my dad had like passed away and stuff as well, and my mum passed away when I was really young, so it kind of just unlocked something a little bit that I had hidden away for years, and it just nailed me. And I thought I did not expect to go to The Flash and end up bawling my eyes out. It was weird. It was one of the things.
Did you not know any of like the Flashpoint storyline before Flash?
Yes, I do. Yeah, but it's just I just thought it was. I don't know. It just hit me.
Just seeing it on the big screen and seeing his emotion of what he's got to sit back and let happen.
Yeah.
That's what I bawl my eyes out at.
I have not seen that. I'm too scared to watch it.
It's when the old couple. It reminds me of Nana and Grandad. So every time I just bawl my eyes out.
Yeah. Oh, I cried. Oh, well, it is a confession for you. I cried at Pearl Harbor. I thought Pearl Harbor was sad. True story.
Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
What makes that worse as well? I was on a date.
Nowadays, you'd be praised for showing your emotions.
Do you mean the end bit of Pearl Harbor where he says, "Yeah, I've stole your girlfriend and got a pregnant one. By the way, you can bring
I
up
think you're
my
just
kid."
upset about the bombing.
Yeah, is that the bit? Is that the bit that got you?
It was I think the part that got me was more when when it was Josh Hartnett gets shot when he protects him.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I thought you died. I've shagged your bird. I've got a pregnant, and by the way, you can now bring up my son, and I'll let you. That's the end of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I think that's what I cried over. The fact that he had to look after his kid. It's like nothing else. I definitely cried at the end of Titanic. That nailed me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet as well. I cried over. I've cried a lot of things. Yeah, I've cried at a lot of things.
You just realised you spend majority of your time in the cinemas crying.
Pretty much.
Anyway, Halloween ends.
I forgot one of the Armageddon.
Oh.
Armageddon. If no man has ever cried at Armageddon, that there's something wrong. There's so many moments in that movie that just my bottom lip just went.
Just wobbling.
The first time was when I haven't seen it for a long time, but it's when Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis are going down, and then because they all drew straws, didn't they, or whatever, and Ben Affleck.
He pulls the air thing out, doesn't he?
Yeah. And then he throws him back into the thing, so he's like,
you go and look after my Gracie.
Yeah. Bang, gone. See you later.
So Junie's got a question for you.
Do you know what just before we jump into that question, do you know what makes me annoyed at Armageddon? Do you know that whole emotional speech when he's talking to his daughter? That's getting broadcasted all over the world.
Yeah.
Well, she's watching, that's my dad, and all that lot. And then all of a sudden, it's all getting broadcasted all over the world that he's having this conversation with his daughter. Surely that should have been on a private channel, not beamed across everywhere that it's happening.
I don't know, but I think with that, I think it kind of makes it more emotional, doesn't it? Don't you think? Because he can't, if I remember with that, he can't actually see her or hear her, can he? He's just doing it. But
he's talking into a webcam, isn't he? Yeah.
Or something. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
yeah, he can't see her. He's talking into the camera.
That's right. Yeah, that whole bit in Armageddon, just I reckon, even if I watched that now, it would still set me off. I would still go. I reckon.
Hey, Rich.
But to answer that question, no, there was no second date. There was no second date. I remember as well. Well, while we're on this subject, I think I like opening up to you two. I remember, right, because I'd just been broken up with, and we went to watch There's Something About Mary, and the part where he has to walk away from her at the end, I cried at that. I'm like, I feel you, Ben. I feel you. I know it's hard. Oh, God, I was such a soppy kid, like.
Oh, God.
Right, There's Something About Mary. Seriously.
That was such a great movie. That was.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely love it. I love it. Oh, I also remember when Godzilla died at the end of Godzilla. I nearly cried at that as well. I mean, what did Godzilla do wrong? It's only an animal. Doesn't know what it's doing.
Oh, God. You were saying King Kong when he's getting taken down from the bloody Empire State Building or whatever. Then.
Oh, don't.
Watch you, and he sit next. He'll be emitting when he watches movie chats back. Yeah.
Oh, and then Infinity War when Spider-Man went. Oh,
yeah.
Who were we talking about that with the last time? About
probably.
Yeah, probably.
Wouldn't it be Luke? If he's Spider-Man, it's probably Luke, wasn't it?
Was it about the fact that the spider sense was tingling, so we knew something was wrong? Was it you? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
you know. And then little Steve goes, "It's not real." Yeah, but the fucking Greatest Showman is, dickhead. But you know.
Oh yeah, I remember you were getting all in mosh back then as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember looking at me mate when Infinity War with that bit with Spider-Man went, and I remember because he was down the other end of the row and I was up the other end. It's the only place we could get. And I remember just looking down to him, and it was perfect timing because he looked back at me, and it's bottom lips go, and he's like,
"Did you just have that look in your eye that you didn't have to say anything? You just looked and was like, I accept you." And
then, and then I will say in Endgame when Tony Stark died, that I must admit that nailed me as well. I
was watching some YouTube the other day, and Tom Holland was on Graham Norton's show, and they were saying that. They wrote that into Tom Holland's script, that bit at the end where they all turn up at the lake was for Tony Stark's wedding. It wasn't his funeral. So that's why
to spoil it.
That's why when everyone else is looking all sad, he's there smirking because they were like, you fuckers, what have you said? What have you done to me here? Because everyone's there for a funeral and he's there for a wedding. so he didn't give the end of the film away. He thought it was the wedding with Tony Stark.
Yeah, I like to think that with the Spider-Man character, he was probably thinking of the good times with Tony Stark instead. You know, that's why he was probably smiling and that. You know what I mean? That's
when he was banging his Aunt May.
Yeah, she was tired. Yeah, and now that's another one as well. You've just reminded me when she dies.
Yeah.
That nailed me a little bit as well, to be honest. And
that was Happy. Happy got me more in that because obviously Aunt May and Happy were having a thing, weren't they, at the time? And then when Happy went to see her and he was just like, it's not good and stuff like that. It was that. Yeah. But didn't Robbie Downey Jr. and Timu What's-Her-Face actually date in real life?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did.
Okay.
Well, I'm not too sure. But like just talking about that scene anyway, I thought it's a sad scene, but I thought Tom Holland was brilliant in that scene doing that. I think that's what his performance kind of, probably set it off for me a little bit as well.
But then getting that reenaction scene between Tom Holland and Goblin, what we got with Tobey Maguire and Goblin, that was mirrored perfectly. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that Spider-Man movie. I thought it was brilliant. It's probably the last Marvel movie I've really enjoyed. Spider-Man, no way out. But then, in fairness, I haven't really checked out any of the others because I've kind of just zoned out from it now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Have any of you checked out the Marvels yet or anything?
No. I say I've been watching Loki this week. I watched the new Mission Impossible. I got round to that.
Is that any good?
Yeah, it's really good, but it's 2 hours 46 minutes or something, 43 minutes. So you definitely feel it. But obviously it's a part one. So
yeah.
But the thing is with those films, I enjoy them, and I enjoy the fact that a lot of the stunts are done. They're not CGI'd or he's done them himself, sort of thing. A lot of the stunts, so they keep pushing the envelope, sort of thing. But it's a tough one between that and Fallout. Which one's the better one? But I'd say it's a good movie to watch.
Yeah,
just have to switch your brain off for a few hours.
Oh yeah, I've always found with them Mission Impossible movies, especially after the second one, because I like the first one. I think the second one's bad, but from the 3 upwards, I think they make the case of they got better with each one. But
better with age, really. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I've just had to Google that. Marissa Tomei, who plays Aunt May, she did date Robbie Downey Jr. in real life, but now she's now with Pete Davidson, who I thought Pete Davidson was with Ariana Grande.
He's freaking now. What a jammy bite. He's getting into fucking everything, isn't he?
Well, there's rumors he was dating Kate Beckinsale. So he's done quite well there.
He's doing well for himself for an ugly fuck.
Fair play to him.
But for someone who's famous because his dad died at 9/11. But
yeah.
There we go. There's your movie news this week, ladies and gents.
Sorry, guys. Just give me 5 minutes, guys. I just need a quick bathroom break, if you don't mind.
Just don't be crying in there.
He's going to freshen up now, isn't he, after all this emotional talk?
I'm just going to touch on my mascara.
So this Warner Brothers post I saw before, you've got. I was looking at it. I managed to take a screenshot of it, but you've got things like a new Mad Max next year. Obviously Beetlejuice 2 that we know about. December, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim or something.
Rohan.
I couldn't pronounce it. It's Rohirrim. Then you've got Mortal Kombat 2, The Juror number 2. There's a few others I don't recognise. And then you've got, going into 2025, you've got Minecraft, Superman Legacy, Batman Part 2, or The Batman Part 2, I Am Legend 2, Heat 2, okay, Hot Wheels. So this is to do with the franchise things, isn't it?
Heat 2, as in Heat with
As
Robert De
in
Niro,
HEAT 2.
yeah, as in Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, Heat.
Yeah, yeah. You'll like this, The Conjuring 4, The Last Ride.
Because we haven't got 18 spin-off
Exactly.
movies of that already.
Meet the Flintstones.
Okay.
Cat in the Hat. Untitled Ocean's 11. And then going on to 2026, you've got Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Final Destination 6, The Lunar Chronicles, Bad Fairies. So there's a few in there to sort of dissect. Wise Guys.
Well, Superman Legacy and Supergirl. Superman is this is the two. Supergirl's the one from Flash, isn't it? She's keeping her role as Supergirl.
Yeah.
And then we've got a new Superman, haven't we? We've got a younger Superman now.
Yeah.
So we're the last couple of movies we've had an older Superman. This is like a teenage one, isn't it?
Yeah.
To match the new Supergirl.
So that'll be interesting. I mean, that's just Warner Brothers themselves, so there should be good ones on there. Just a heads up, Dave, in the Black Friday sale, there's a bundle deal of tissues on Amazon, just so you don't run out anytime soon. Like that one, Junie?
See,
nice.
Jamie's put on there that Pete Davidson will totally get it. There's something about him. I don't know. I'm not that way inclined.
People, surely.
I'm not that way inclined, so I wouldn't know what the appeal would be there, I'm afraid.
No, I must be honest with you. Pete Davidson doesn't tickle my pickles,
So Steve's just read a list there from Warner Brothers while you were topping up your makeup.
Does it look good? Do I look good? Do I look pretty?
Yeah. That foundation's really blended into your neck. They Meet the Flintstones. Do you think we really need another Flintstones movie after the two John Goodman ones that were awful?
I don't think at this point. That is one of the franchises where I can only see it being positive, to be honest with you. As long as it's not some CGI stuff again, something like that. If it was a live action one, then I'd be chuffed with that.
Yeah.
And what did you say? Cat in the Hat? Was that another one?
I'll go through a couple of them again. So you got June Part 2. One I missed out was Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire.
Yeah.
Mad Max Furiosa. Beetlejuice 2. Joker, obviously. Fella Ducks, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I've butchered that. I know I have, by the way. Yeah. Mortal Kombat 2. Salem's Lot for you. Then you've got Minecraft, Superman Legacy, The Batman Part 2, I Am Legend 2, Heat 2, Ocean's 11 Untitled, Cat in the Hat, Hot Wheels, and again, that goes back to this brand thing with like Barbie, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where they're going to start chucking out all these sort of movies.
The Martell thing. We're getting Barney the dinosaur as well, aren't we?
Meet the Flintstones, The Conjuring 4, The Last Rites, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Bad Fairies, Lunar Chronicles, Final Destination 6, and a DC one called The Authority.
Right, okay.
So, and that's the Warner Brother releases. So there's a few there to dissect, but I don't think they'll do much harm, to be honest. The Flintstones one, because the second one was terrible. The first one I really enjoyed.
I don't know, but do we need a Flintstones movie?
Why not?
Because the Flintstones is a dead cartoon. It's not shown anywhere. It's not been revamped I don't think it's ever been revamped as a cartoon. It's not like the Fireman Sam did, have they, where it's now all CGI 3D printed stuff.
Yeah.
No, true.
I think the thing is, Steve, as well. I mean, it's not really being made for us, is it? I'm sure it's going to be it's going to aim towards kids. I would imagine.
100%,
Well, I don't
yeah.
know, but going back to the nostalgia comment
Yeah.
right at the start of the show,
Yeah,
the only people you're aiming a Flintstones movie at is the people that watched the Flintstones when they were a kid. Because it's not on the it's not like they're giving us a Thomas the Tank movie now or a Fireman Sam movie or something like that. It's like if they did the live action Jetsons movie.
yeah,
It's only aimed at people our age.
Yeah, true.
yeah. Who's what's the cast in that? Does anyone know? Like who's playing Barney or like?
No, I think it's too. Well, I'll have a look, but I bet it's too early to tell. To be honest,
Is this all like for next year or like over the next couple of years?
the next 2 years.
2025.
So 2025 is. I'll have a look. Meet the Flintstones.
Yeah, because it probably all depend for me who's kind of casting it to make me kind of interested, really. Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Nothing.
So with it saying Meet the Flintstones, wasn't the Jetsons cartoon Meet the Jetsons?
I want to say yes.
So do you reckon we'll get both then? You'll get the Flintstones and the Jetsons? Because there was a crossover episode of the Flintstones and Jetsons, wasn't there?
I don't know, was there? Yeah.
See, it says here in July, it says a new Flintstones reboot and a look at all the spin-offs and remakes. A new Flintstones reboot of sorts for adults is in the works. So it isn't just going to be it isn't just going to be sort of kid based. It's going to be I don't know. It might have the same sort of humor as like your Shreks and stuff like that, where it sort of spans both.
Yeah. Do you know it's a hard one. It's a hard one to tell. I'd have to like watch the trailer. I think if trailer gets released, just to kind of gauge like what it's going to be.
Yeah.
If it's kind of aimed, if it's going to be family friendly. But if there's some kind of like little adult kind of comedy jokey thing in there, it might work. I don't know. But it's just for now, I've got no real interest in it. I've got to be honest.
There's a couple in there that I'm like, why are we doing that one? Another Cat in the Hat. Do we need another Cat in the Hat?
No, we don't.
We don't need that one. Doctors, what isn't his books being rewrote anyway to make him a bit more? We've done well to avoid that whole topic, so we're not even going down that route. And there's a couple of more there, and I think reading there about the Superman and Supergirl and that DC one, more comic book drops to not watch next year.
Yeah, but there's not as many though. That's the thing, is that there's not as many of these things coming out over the next year or so.
That's Warner Brothers. That's not Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So by the time that you've gone through all the Dark Horse releases for next year, you've got the Marvel releases and you've got DC's there as well.
Yeah.
That's 3 from DC. So you've got 3 Marvels and then you'll have 2 of the Dark Horse ones.
Yeah.
So you've got 9 films possibly coming out next year, 8 that we know of, and possibly another one. So that's one every other. That's one every month and a half, isn't it?
Yeah.
Release of movie stuff. Never mind anything that's on the TV series as well.
Yeah.
That have coming out. Now, I was watching. I haven't seen the Marvels. I haven't seen Ms. Marvel, the series. I couldn't get into that. I watched about 20 minutes of it, and then where she got the power rings from, I have no idea. It's probably explained somewhere in the series.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you need to watch Ms. Marvel. You need to watch Wanda to find out who Rambo is, because you only met her when she was about 6 in Captain Marvel, and now she's grown up. So you only see that in WandaVision, and then you don't see anything of Captain Marvel for 3 or 4 Marvel films, do you?
This is it. I mean, the thing is that was it Kevin Feige or someone that was in charge at the time?
Yeah.
Someone who was saying that you wouldn't have to watch these series to sort of know what's going on, but it's bollocks, because you do. I mean, I've like I say, I've sat and watched that Loki series 1 and 2 yesterday, the last couple of days, and there's so much more I've picked up on that went into Multiverse of Madness or Quantum Mania. And stuff like that, and even going into the Marvels, you need to watch Miss Marvel, really, so it's annoying, really, because this is what happened when you looked at like the original Arrow and Flash and Supergirl and all them. All of a sudden, they did these crossovers, and it some of them were quite relevant to the storyline of the Flash or someone you were watching, and if you didn't watch those in certain orders, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, with the Flash one, wasn't he introduced in Arrow first?
Yeah.
Then he wasn't he? And then he went.
Yeah.
He obviously went off to his own. So that's when I actually watched Arrow. But I think that's what kind of just put me off Marvel. To be honest with you, but I think
the thing with the Flash. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Dave. The thing with the Flash crossovers, when it was just the Flash, the Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow, that was fine because you watched all three of those films and you saw 3 of those series. You saw it building up to the crossover one because they start mentioning other bits. Like Legends of Tomorrow would say, "Oh, something's changed in the timeline," and it was because Oliver's killed somebody that he shouldn't have killed, or Barry's arrested somebody and locked somebody up in big that he shouldn't have locked up, and that was having a knock-on effect. And Legends obviously saw that because they're jumping through time.
Yeah,
it was when they started adding in the likes of Batgirl, Black Lightning. What was the other one that they added in? It was Batgirl, Black Lightning, and a series no one's ever heard of. But unless you were watching Batgirl on Channel 5.
It was almost to promote them all, wasn't it?
Yeah. You were watching Batgirl on Channel 5. And bearing in mind, we only got 2 seasons of that before they cancelled it.
Yeah.
And 3 of those episodes was a crossover.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chris.
And then you've got... Yeah, and then Black Lightning. No one really watched Black Lightning because they were never shown on the same streaming services.
Yeah.
And that's when it got silly.
Yeah. I just found like the moment you had to start watching TV shows to understand like the next movie's coming up, you've lost me then. Like, it just, I shouldn't have to watch Loki or watch like Miss Marvel, whatever, to understand what's going to happen in like the next Marvel movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
Just, I don't have the time for all that shit. You know what I mean? I just don't.
The Multiverse of Madness, he said you had to watch that What If series to understand what was happening in that. No, you had to watch the What If to understand why all of a sudden Agent Carter was Captain Britain.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why you'd need to watch that. WandaVision would help because you'd understand why she's losing her mind. So you would understand that. But other than that, you didn't need to watch anything else to understand what was happening in the Multiverse of Madness. Quantumania, you had to understand who Kang was, obviously, because you're seeing him elsewhere.
So Loki,
because the end of Loki and stuff like that. So that helps, but not necessarily makes the whole film. The Marvels apparently is so rooted in the TV series, it's unbelievable.
What, Miss Marvel, like?
Yeah. Yeah, from what I gather, if you haven't seen either of the 2 TV series, you don't know what's going on. You don't know who anyone is. Apparently, Ms. Marvel's whole family are in this, and they play a big part in the film. And you're like, well, you don't know who they all are. Someone put in the chat there that Ms. Marvel's grandson says a box of old jewelry. Sound okay? That sums that one up for me. I don't need to watch that now.
Yeah.
I just.
But you see, the thing is that that's probably the worst. This new the Marvels, whatever it is probably like the worst received one so far. The amount of money compared to the budget that it was on, that it's taken, is diabolical. Really, it's terrible.
don't think that helps that Disney was saying we've cut it down by about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
They took so much of that film away to run it through as a small runtime. They probably didn't want to release it in the first place. It'll be like Warner not wanting to release Aquaman 2.
I mean, the thing is that they made Captain Marvel like the most powerful being in the galaxy. Like, there is not much that she can't just bulldoze her way through.
Yeah.
Like, and then expecting them to have a really like a nemesis, like an adversary, that someone that they go up against that could even compare to the powers that she's got. Plus the fact that the way that is it Brie Larson, the woman that she's called, she's the actual character herself is not really a likable character. She comes into movies for 5 minutes, sorts it out, and then it's off again, or causes more issues than needed, and it's just not a likable character. And the problem is that after her actual standalone film, it's quite evident that she can't carry a film on her own. So having these two other characters in there just to carry a film, it's not a likable character. So the movie's not popular.
At the end of Infinity War, where they were going through the whole blip, and you see Fury send off the beeper for Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
That was the end credit scenes.
Yeah.
The thing that got me was the amount of time it took her to get from one side to the other. Because it was years before she got there. Because we had that whole Scarlett Johansson Black Widow thing, didn't she? Where she was sort of running the unofficial Shield, and then obviously Marvel got there, and then she was putting it all right, and then she disappeared off again.
I don't know, to be honest with you, pal. So obviously the question is, at what point will Disney give up this woke stuff?
Now they're already pulling it back.
They're saying that, but they're still bringing out this stuff.
Only because it's already been refilmed. It's already been done, hasn't it? So they can't. They're not.
Do you really believe that?
Yeah.
Do you really believe that they've listened to the audiences?
Yeah, and I think what's happened now is the fact that they've lost millions and millions. Of what's going on. The fact that they've took Snow White right the way back, and they're talking about a complete refilm for Cinderella.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to get rid of the
Snow White. Snow White.
They're going to get rid of they're going to get rid of the 7 woke magical creatures. High dwarfs. They're taking it right back. They've learned the lesson out of this.
Hey, if I got a phone call saying, "Look, we now need you. We need 7 dwarfs," to be like, "Yeah, my rate's just doubled."
Yeah.
So, we literally make them pay for that.
I think probably as well as that South Park episode that dropped not long ago.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to watch it.
I know I need to watch it myself actually, but I think that was kind of opened a discussion now. Really, hasn't it? With South Park, like kind of taking the piss out of it, basically.
What's the episode called?
The Pandaverse, I think. Welcome to the Pandaverse.
Yeah, welcome to the Pandaverse. Yeah. But the thing is that they've waited a long time, because if they'd have done that a year or two ago, they'd have got absolutely berated. Yeah. Now they're getting to a point where they're seeing that people are getting a little bit tired of it, should we say? And they've hit it at the right time, I think, South Park.
Yeah,
because they've always been controversial, haven't they?
Yeah, I think people have been tired of it for a while.
Yeah,
to be honest. Yeah. And I've always just been waiting for the moment, because everything's got to come full circle. Like, common sense has got to come back around at some point. It's just got to. I mean, just these companies, man. Like they dived into it, and I never understood why. I just could never wrap my head around it. And then money talks at the end of the day.
I mean, I've said it a few times, but for me, sort of watching a movie or a TV show or something like that is sort of taking yourself out of the reality and just enjoying what's on the screen. But then when you're seeing it on the screen as well as what's in reality,
Yeah.
You know, regardless of your views on it, it's one of those where you're like, I just can't escape it, even if I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You know
the
what I mean?
problem. Yeah. And that's what film and TV is supposed to be. It's supposed to be in the form of escapism, isn't it? It just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just want
Whatever's going on in the world, this
Yeah.
is a story that you can get into. But then when you see, I mean, I'm watching things now, and I'm literally going, I can see where this is going now.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it the other week about like that Old Dads. Old Dads is a cracking film. It really is good. But
I enjoyed it.
you know where it's going,
Yeah.
and you're like, I hope it doesn't go down that route. I hope it doesn't. At least, I mean, it gives you sort of a soft ending as opposed to what it could have happened. But
Yeah.
you know, it's you're looking for these things now. It's like I was watching. Oh, it was Mission Impossible, I think it was. I was watching. And when I was watching that the other day, and as great a film as that is, there is still elements where there's a female co-star that's saving his ass constantly.
Mm.
Well, I think this is what the Marvels was meant to be, wasn't it? We got a glimpse of it. We got a glimpse of it with Endgame, where they were all in one scene.
Yeah.
You know, you had Pepper Potts, you had Valkyrie, you've got Miss Marvel, you've got what's her name from Wakanda Forever, the sister who's now Black Panther.
Yeah,
They were all in that one scene, weren't they? That one still of the film. And I think the Marvels were supposed to be their way of giving us the female lead action movie and obviously building on from there. And it's not happened. Peter's put their Pedro Pascal to play Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards in the new Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I've seen
Brilliant.
that.
I've seen the picture of him. He looks really, really good. I don't think it's going to be him that's playing it. But again, in that one, it's not Reed that's going to be the group leader. It's going to be Sue.
Okay.
So you're giving us Sue Storm as the lead for the Fantastic Four.
But that's the point, is that that's never been the case as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, is that it's not about, I mean, you can have, you know, female and male leads and they're sort of equals. There's no problem with that. But when you take established characters, should we say, you know, and all of a sudden in their next film, they literally half the person they was before, and it takes somebody. It's like Quantumania constantly bailing out Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ant-Man barely won a blooming fight.
No, you were talking before, and sorry to go back to Transformers here, but someone mentioned before someone talked before about walking out of Transformers 2 for Rise of the Fallen, and all they done with that film was water down Megatron for the rest of the series, and that's why Megatron's not been in the last couple of films. Because they watered him down so much that every time he got his ass kicked in the later films, and he wasn't actually in control of the Decepticons from the second movie onwards, the Fallen was. And I think that's what they've done with all these pre-recorded movies that we're getting now, because these are all the tail end of it, aren't they? Where you look at The Little Mermaid, they were complaining, Beyonce and people like that were complaining about, it wasn't Beyonce, it wasn't, Lily Allen was complaining about The Little Mermaid because she's giving up her life to be with a man. Well, that's what the film was.
Yeah.
You know, she's willing to give up what she knows to be with the prince. And it was just like, we need stronger role models for women. Yeah, you do, but you know, give me a female bricklayer. Not everybody needs to be a CEO. You can give me a bricklayer and you get the same effect.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they're going to do with the Fantastic Four. That she's not just a strong character; she's got to lead the team.
Yeah.
Well,
did you hear that news about Blade? That the Blade script that got turned down.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad that happened. He was basically the Blade movie that they're going to make. He was basically the fourth lead in that movie.
Yeah.
It was
Was
supposed
it like going to be a trilogy of women?
Yeah. Why? Just why? If you're making a Blade movie, who's your main character? Blade. Right. That's it. It just. Yeah, I'm glad that's not happened because like if you actually I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube about
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Just
Makes it a real fifth.
horrendous, you know.
It's
Well, I'm
either that or give me a Whistler movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
that'd be
me
interesting.
give me Whistler when he finds Blade.
Yeah.
You know, this is how it, because we got that roughly in the first film, didn't we? When he says, you know, I found them, we weaned them off blood, we've done this and that. Give me a film where you actually see that. You know,
Yeah.
that would be an origin movie I would love to see, not necessarily an origin scene where like you're getting Spider-Man or Batman or something like that. It'll be that whole movie leads. So the second movie in that trilogy will be the established Blade that we know and we love.
Yeah, true.
How he's got there. You know?
Yeah.
I just think I mean, obviously going into the MCU, doing a Blade movie for that, I just think it's going to be a disaster anyway. I don't want a watered down Blade movie. I don't. Blade is rated R. That's the point.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
It's the same as like Punisher. I wouldn't want to see a watered down Punisher TV series or movie. Like these characters are not really for kids, really.
Yeah.
They're not. So I'm not excited. I'm not exactly excited for this new Blade movie. I've got to be honest. If they said it's rated R and stuff, I would probably kind of be a bit more into it then, but it's not going to be.
No.
Wheels put a comment in there. Men want to see alpha males and feminine women. So the women. That's why Top Gun and Barbie are a massive hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fair comment. I mean, it is moving with the times, but like you say, I mean, whether Disney and that will actually change their ways now again, I don't know.
No, they are. He came out and said, didn't they? We've learned our lesson. We're rolling it back, you know, and we're rethinking our stance on a lot of it because they did go in full pelt with the whole, you know, let's support it, let's rewrite everything, and let's go with that. And I think the first lot of films, you start going, okay, you can see where it's going, and then after that, you just stop watching it because you know what it was. You know what you were getting.
Yeah.
You know? So you're spending millions and not getting that back.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
I mean, we won't start seeing the effect of this now for another couple of years at least.
And that's what I'm saying, yeah. Yeah, because there's movies there that are due for release, isn't there?
Yeah.
But it's just whether or not they'll go back and change anything, like you say.
Yeah.
Like they're doing with Snow White, if that's true. But maybe that's what's tipped it though. Maybe that is what genuinely what's tipped it now.
Yeah, I think the feedback and the backlash that they got from not actually having dwarf actors play the dwarf, and it's like
having an actress that's telling us that the first animated movie by Disney, a successful animated movie by Disney, was actually completely wrong.
Yeah. And the fact that you've got Hugh Grant playing an Oompa Loompa in the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know, and stuff like that, instead of having dwarf actors, you know, these are probably, for lack of a better word, the biggest roles of their life, isn't it? Really, you know.
See what I found the other day, Steve.
Oh,
Super Ted, Jesus!
Yeah. It used to belong to Kirsty apparently, but not anymore. It belongs to me now.
Yeah, you're right. Sonic the Hedgehog got took back and redesigned.
Yeah,
because it didn't actually look like Sonic. Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
So, But do you remember? Do you remember when? That was never going to be Sonic. That was just a screen test of a prop.
Oh God, yeah.
They tried to backtrack redesigning that, then didn't they? It was just like that's not what we were ever going to release. Yeah.
No, I think that was definitely a time when they've done the right thing, because that looked terrible.
Yeah, it did.
You know, and the fan base just went absolutely mental. And I bet they thought, you know what, if we put it out like this, no one's going to watch it.
Mm.
You won't get the nostalgic adults wanting to take the kids. The kids don't recognise the thing because it doesn't look anything like Sonic. You know, but I think that's one time where sort of audience power has worked really.
Yeah,
right.
And the fact that they actually listened as well.
And that's the saying, yeah, they listened, didn't they? You know, spawned a second one off the back of it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did great business, didn't it?
Right,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, we are 9:10. For those listening to the podcast, you know, it's 9:10 in the evening. I turn into a pumpkin if I'm not in bed.
It's the quiet hour.
20 minutes time. So, thank you for joining us on our first episode, Dave. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure being on, mate. Thank you for having me.
It's like a family reunion for you two, isn't it?
It is.
Just because you feel left out.
I'm going to shave my head next time.
You should.
And turn up on time. 20 seconds before we go live.
We'd be like right said Fred, wouldn't we?
It won't be if I put that vest on that he bought me.
Yeah. At the moment he's the cock between two balls, isn't he? Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy the podcast. If you've watched us back or listened to us back, in some cases we will be on YouTube Music and Spotify, hopefully in the morning when I get around to uploading it back. Next week we have Lainey from Big Girls Really Do Cry. She's going to come on and host a movie quiz for us. So Dave, yes, if we'll send you the link and you can come on.
Yeah, 100%.
So gen up on all sorts of genres, years, soundtracks, everything, because it's going to be an interesting quiz.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we can get a couple of the guys on. Get a couple of the guys on from like the Bounty Joe and AJ and Gareth and people like that, and we'll have a good old-fashioned movie quiz.
Yeah.
You've been watching Movie Chats. I'm Steve. That's Little Steve. Go and subscribe.
Take care.
Already, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.